Hello, girls. As you can see, we have put on our witches' hats to help us think today. So, hello, Nyssa.
Hello, Leti. Hello, Elena.
And hello, Elena.
Hello, my friends. I'm glad to spend this Sunday evening with you.
Yes, it's a good way to be at home together, no? Yes. Right then. Let's see what we're going to do today. What do you think we're going to talk about today?
Friends?
Friends, no. Any other idea?
School? No.
Twins?
Twins.
Twins, Helen.
Right, so we're going to talk about twins. Now, I looked it up in Google because you know what I'm like when I don't know something. There are many kinds of twins. That's what they say, because you can have triplets, quadruplets, and all the different numbers, no? Of all
I'm
the
very scared about it.
But I didn't think of that, because if you say to me twins, I think of twins that are born at the same time, two. And I think of identical twins, which are exactly the same and you don't know who they are, right? But if you Google it, there are all the other kinds, they say. But twins for me means two. So I don't know why they put more things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So does any of you know any twins in your real life?
I knew when I was a kid, I had neighbors who was a sister, identical twins. But recently I met on the street a mother with her 3 daughters. They was about 6 years old. They were 3 identical twins. It was amazing. I never watched before. 3 girls like one. It's
amazing.
So interesting.
Right. In my family, we haven't got twins, actually, like my brothers or sisters or cousins or anything. But at the academy, I think we've got 4 or 5 different ones. And when I have them in my class, I always say, who are you? And they say, Albert. And I say, right, hey, go first. And then the other girl goes behind. And then I know which one is which. But they are identical twins that I have in the academy. And you can't, well, I can't see the difference in a split second. Maybe if I look closer, I can. So I asked them their names. They get very annoyed, really, like saying, why are you asking me my name? Can't you see who I am? And I'm thinking, no, I can't. So I put one in front of the other so I know who they are. And then I will remember the name because the way I have sat them in the classroom, no?
Yeah.
Right. Let's see what we have today. So, Elena, if you will read number 1 and then choose one of these.
Sometimes you need courage to. Courage.
Oh, you don't know the meaning?
I don't know.
Courage is like being brave, something inside you that fills you with that extra bit of confidence.
Has a lot of strengths, maybe.
I thought sometimes you need courage to say how you feel.
How you feel.
I could be wrong. We will see the answers in a minute, right? Nyssa, yes. Number 2.
Every person has his or her own identity.
Right, and the next one?
We are not all the same. We are all individuals.
Right, and the last one?
He's not good at even at everything, but he has a lot of strengths.
So I think it's eliminated everything. And now we know which are the answers, right? So it was what we said, right? Courage. I don't know why I can't remember everything. I'm terrible sometimes. But there is a word in English called Dutch courage, right? And it will come from something. Dutch is a person from Holland or the Netherlands. And if we Google it, it will tell us where that expression comes from. He has Dutch courage. So maybe I will put it in the post later if I remember.
Yes,
Right
it's
then.
interesting.
So Elena, if you can read what's in the first box.
Andy and Alex McCabe are twins. Andy works as a mechanic and Alex is studying law. Is it surprising that the brothers have taken such different paths? We spoke to them and to Jane and Dakota Novak about being an individual and a twin.
Right, so we have to guess. It doesn't matter what we say. We can guess what we think we're going to read about. An interview with an expert on family relationships, the personal experience of 4 young people, advice for readers on finding your own way, or people's opinion about twins.
I think it's second, the personal experience.
Second.
Right, so it was just a guess. It's nothing important to make you think a little bit, no? So these are some words that are important that are going to come up. So Nyssa, can you read them?
Yes, to disagree, to make sure, to interrupt, to get picked for, to be disappointed, to enjoy, to realize, to be shocked.
Now, these words by themselves could have multiple possibilities, right? But it depends in the context which we put them. Disagree, I think that's easy, no? To make sure is, how can I explain that? To make sure, to look at it twice to make sure everything is correct, for example. To interrupt is to stop, either in a conversation or push in, no? To get picked for, it's for a team, to be chosen. To be picked for. So I was picked for Real Madrid to play tonight in the big match, for
Interesting.
example.
I didn't know that.
Right?
Thank you.
Now, it could mean something else in another context, but that is the one I've given it. To be disappointed. Do we know that one? Yeah, when you're not very happy about something and you thought it was going to happen. To enjoy, to realize, to be shocked. Okay, so that is going to come in the reading. So you're going to read maybe a column each, and then I don't have to say something. And if you just stop now and again to take breath, and also maybe I will want to make a comment. So like do little paragraphs and stop for a second. If I don't say anything, just carry on. Right, Elena, off you go.
Very different twins. Andy loves his parents, but he disagrees with some of their decisions. They gave us the same clothes and even gave us similar names, he explains. They also made sure we were in the same class at school. That's where the trouble started, interrupts Alex. He loved going to school, but Andy just wanted to play outside and do sports. Andy worked hard at school, but he never enjoyed it. And I played football with him, but I wasn't good at it. When Andy got picked for our town's under 16th team, and I didn't, I felt I disappointed our parents.
So you had to stop there. So Andy got picked for our town under 16 teams, and I didn't. I felt I disappointed our parents. So it's important to stop sometimes in a place so you get the right impression. I don't think it's that difficult. What do you think? The reading's okay. You don't need to ask me anything, no?
Yes.
Right, so Nyssa.
And I could enjoy my success, says Andy. However, that moment led to a chance. The boys sat down and talked to their parents about it. We are individuals, says Andy. We each have our own strengths, and if everybody respects that, we can all be happy.
Right, just a minute. Here, however, that moment led to a change, right? A change.
No chance, I change. Okay,
Right, a change. Now, sometimes that can come because as you're Italian and I'm Spanish, I know where it could come from the sounds, right? So after that, one was chosen for football and one wasn't. They talked to the parents and hope that they would understand that they're not in competition together and each one is a different person, no? Off you go, Nyssa.
Dakota and Jane have different story. Look at our names, says Dakota. Jane got the old English one and my name is American. Our parents really wanted to respect our separate identities. The girls were put in different classes at school, but they still had the same friends and the same interests. You have to be your own person. That's what Dad always said. Jan tell us, but I thought he was wrong. However, when it was time for the girls to go to university, Dakota realized that she didn't want to study in the same place as her sisters.
Right, okay, Elena.
Jane was shocked. She had thought they would always be together. But of course, she says, that's impossible. As adults, you'll have different jobs, different partners, and follow different directions. Dakota understood that before I did, and she did the right thing when she decided to study in another city. But I needed a lot of courage to tell Jane that was what I wanted, adds Dakota. Jane says she was really scared, but we are individuals, just like Dad said. Some people see twins as a kind of double person, but we have two separate lives.
Right, okay, so that is true. When they see people together and they're twins, they expect them to do the same things and like the same things. And I think we've seen a lot of films about this, no? Where they say that they're like joined together with the emotions and this, that, and the other, no? And they get, for example, I have some twins, 2 boys, and if they're not sat together, they are not happy. Yeah. And as they are a bit naughty, I like to put one here and one here. And oh, if I separate them, you think I'd kill them or something, because they get so upset they're not together.
Okay.
Right, so now I'm going to ask you, what do you think? Right, what you think? Right, Nyssa, just read the instructions.
Yes, the twins in the article mention their names. Do you think that people's names tell us something about their parents' hopes for them?
Right, so we're going to stop there. So I don't know about your names. I think I told you some time ago, my name comes from my grandmother. My grandmother died in childbirth and my mother gave me her name. So it was like to keep her memory going, I suppose. That's why I have her name. But other than that, do you know why your parents chose your names? Nyssa?
Nyssa is not my real name. This is my nickname. But about my real name, no. I think my dad loved my name and stop. Not with any other reason. Not a tradition. Not a name from my grandmother.
Oh, right. And Nyssa, does it have a meaning?
Nyssa is my nickname as an artist. I don't know if it has a meaning.
All right. Okay, then. So it's like when I was on Facebook before, I used to be called Sheena.
Okay, yes.
Elena, does Sheena mean anything to you?
No.
Because I was told it was Russian, not that you are Russian, but I thought it might.
I got it without another emphasis. Tishina, I know that word, I know what it means.
Because my friend told me she's from a Russian, how do you say it? A Russian satellite country, a country that used to belong to Russia when it was the USSR. Those countries, she belongs to one of those. And she told me Sheena means the silent one.
Yes, it's Tishina, because I didn't understood without.
Well,
yes, Tishina, that's silent. Yeah.
So as I was very talkative with her, she found it very funny, and she called me, how do you say it, Sheena, no? And she called me that. And so as I didn't want people to know my real name on Facebook, I put it.
And
I have changed it back now and put my real name because it's the short version of my real name, Letty, no? But that's where I used to have that. Now, Nyssa, we need to look up something, because when an artist has a name, it's got a special expression. So I can't remember what it is now, but I will write it in the post or tell you.
okay.
So like a person, excuse me, who writes a book and doesn't want to be known by the original real name, or an artist that has an expression, and I can't think what it is just at the top of my head, right?
Okay. I know that Nyssa in Arabic language means miss.
Means?
Miss, like a miss, like a woman.
Oh, right, okay. So I don't know. So we will investigate that just out of curiosity. So your real name isn't that one. It's the one it's your artistic name. Maybe that's just something so simple as that, because English isn't really complicated. It just says your artistic name is Nyssa, right? So maybe it's that one. And you, Elena?
But my name, why my parents chose that. My mother wanted a tender, soft girl. She was dreamed about it, and she chose a soft name for me. Just she liked the sound. It's
Elena.
Yes, without r or something like that. And she wanted soft name.
For example, my daughter is called after a singer I liked, but I didn't tell my husband. She was called Alison Moyet. That was her artistic name.
Okay.
And because of that, I included in the list Alison. So we had a list of 15 names, and it kept getting shorter and shorter. And Alison didn't sound bad in Spanish or in English. And Julie, we call her Julia, but in Spanish it's Julia. And I think there was a song, and her dad liked that name, for example.
Julia.
Right, so the next one, Elena, what does it say here?
Think about these things. Names that are traditional, old-fashioned, modern, fashionable. Names that have a meaning. Children who are named after someone in the family.
Right, okay. So mine comes from my grandmother. In my husband's family, it was a tradition that the first son that was born always had the name of Salvador. And then the name was shortened or made different, so you knew which one was which, no? But that was a tradition, for example. Anything else?
No, my family, there is not a tradition, but in Italy we are different in the north and the south of Italy. So in the south it's very common to have a name of your grandmother or grandfather. It's a very tradition. But in the north, no.
Right. And Elena? I think maybe, for example, my granddaughter's called Megan. And Megan means Margaret. So there are some names which are different, but they have the same base, no?
Okay.
For example, and they could think, oh, we chose the name because of the woman who got married to the prince in the UK, no? What's her name? Meghan Markle, no? Or something like that. But for us, it's a Welsh name from Wales, and it means Margaret. But there are names that are popular for a film star, a singer, or something. And then you see all the children that are born all have these names, no?
And I can tell about my children's names. My boys, I wanted that their names were unique. I don't know. I wanted that no one has the same name like they. So my middle son, he has really a very rare name. And when people heard his name, they are surprised and like it a lot because it's old Ukrainian name. I don't know why people don't use this nowadays, but it's very beautiful and good. All people like it. When maybe after my son, I think that now he can be single in Ukraine with that name. Maybe because I never heard
anybody
any-
else with it, no? I
Yeah.
think we should all have individual names because I think it gets very confusing. Can you imagine everyone, Salvador, which one? I just think it gets very
my son
confusing.
like his name, but my daughter, his very popular Ukrainian name. Very, it's almost almost, I don't know. It's very popular, and I gave her that name after just my grandmother.
So it depends if you're in a sentimental moment, no? Or something, no? That's why you choose the names.
Yes,
Have
not
you ever
unique,
done
but
it?
I love it.
Have you ever done it as we've got children? Say the name with your surname to see how it sounds.
Yes, I thought
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. Important. This is
The
important. point.
syllables, no? Depends on your surname, and you run it together and see how if it sounds okay
Yes,
or not,
yes.
no?
Mhm.
And
That's
also
important.
another thing, maybe not, I don't know about in Ukraine, but if you have like, my name is Leticia.
Mhm.
So maybe you would choose that name and then you think, right, what does it sound like when people start to make it shorter?
Ah, yes.
Because people always make the name shorter. So you
Yes.
think, oh, what is this name when it's made shorter? Do I like it? Do I not? So you think of lots of things, no?
And we should combine the name with the name of father, because if people are adult, you should say name the person and add father's name. It's also might be good together, sound together.
Right, so we've all got 2 surnames.
We have like 3 names. It's a name, second name is by after father, and surname.
Ah, okay.
So wait a minute, so they have the name, which is their Christian name, that's how we say it, or their first name, the one that you give them. Then they have their father's surname, and then do they have your surname, Elena?
No, surname, it's like Smith, yes, that's surname. But we have 1 surname and 2, like, I don't know, because the second one, it's not personal name, but it's by name the father, it's not surname.
Oh, right, I don't know that one. Because, for example, I have to be different. I have the name of my husband because I'm from the UK. And
Yes,
I
it's
said to them, can I leave my name the way it is? Just leave it. It's called the maiden name when you're not married, right? And they said, oh, to do that, you had to, I'm talking about 40 years ago, you had to do special paperwork and everything. So I had to take forcefully the name of my husband because of the UK law, even though I got married in Spain. Then my children have 2 names. They have my husband's name and then my maiden name, because my husband said, can you imagine the same surname twice? So my husband's name is Fossati, the surname, and my surname is Fossati. So my children could have been Alison Fossati.
No.
But when he went to register them, he wrote what he wanted. And he wrote my maiden name. Maiden name is what the woman has in the UK before she gets married. Now, with all this equality, you can state what you want, which surname you want, if you're going to keep it, going to leave it. For example, my daughter has put her surname on the 2 children and put the father's surname second. She's changed the order.
Ah, okay.
So there are so many liberties, so many new rules So as she didn't like his surname, she said, I'm not having that surname. So she put her surname and his goes second.
Wow. In Italy, not. No, we only have a surname from the father and stop. And
not
how
yours.
many? No, absolutely no. We
Oh, I
can't.
thought you would be more like us, like Mediterranean.
We can't. Only how many name you want? One name, two names, three names, and only one surname.
I have
From
3.
father. Yes, 3.
Amazing.
And
My mother gave me Leticia, Maria, Elizabeth. My mother likes names. And my brother is Frederick George Edward, and we call him Edward. We call him his last name.
and the last name. Amazing.
The names that my parents give them. And Frederick was for my father, George was for my grandfather, and Edward is his name.
I love many names, but
it's all so complicated. And then I've got my grandchildren, Luke, L-U-K. That's it.
Stop.
And they didn't put an E on it like we do in English because they would have pronounced it different in Spanish. So it can get complicated, no?
Yes.
So there are fashions, there are traditions, and there are popularities of the name. And do you like your name? The one you have been given?
Yeah.
Elena, do you like your name?
Yes, I like No Problems is my name.
Right. No, this is a question from there, but I didn't like my name till I came to Spain, because in England, my name doesn't exist and nobody knew how to pronounce it. And it was, so difficult at school. People used to laugh and pronounce it incorrectly. And then when I came here, as it existed a similarity, because in English it's Leticia and in Spanish it's Leticia. So I had an equivalent, no? But I used to hate it at school. People used to laugh, used to make fun of it. So sometimes I think parents should take more care, because names are with us for all our lives, no?
Yes, but I know people who don't like their names and they made a decision to change the name. And sometimes it's an amazing story, because people say after they changed the name, they had got better life, some good things happened with them after that, like name has influence the life.
So emotionally, it affects them emotionally. And that's why they changed it. I know people that have emigrated to another country. If they have very difficult names to pronounce, either the Christian name or the surname, maybe I'm talking many years ago, but they used to change them. Used to change their names so that they didn't stand out so much. They wanted to mix in a little bit more, or didn't have a problem.
Here in Italy, we can change our name only if it has some problem, not with any reason. So if the name is vulgar or this.
Yeah, if you could say, I am mentally affected by my name, I'm depressed, then you will ask to get it.
Only for specific reasons.
Really?
If not, no, you can't change your name.
Oh, here you can from, I think, 14 years, but if your parents agree. And later, when you're adult, you can do it without no problems.
Yeah, you have to really feel strongly about your name if you want to change it, because it would be paperwork, and we are lazy, no? And we don't want to get involved with doing paperwork.
Yes, it's a problem. Yes. It's documents.
Right then, girls. So today we talked about twins and about names. Thank you for your time and for coming.
Thank you, Letty.